So we're flying with the pigs. Number 36. Composition. H composed of G composed of 4 is what we're looking for. Okay. So what you're going to do is you are going to start with the H function. And the function of H was x squared plus 1. And I put parentheses where there was an x. Then into those parentheses, the next thing is g. So you take your g function and you plug that into your parentheses, which was 2x minus 1, leaving again parentheses where you see x. Into that set of parentheses, you plug in the next thing you see. Well, the next thing we see is 4. And it's a lot simpler if you plug the number in way at the beginning. Because now you don't have to FOIL.
Yeah, I think if you do the other way, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it does.
I think like 3 times.
We'll do it the other way. Okay, so what we have here is 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7 squared plus 1. 7 squared is 49 plus 1 is 50. All right, now watch if you do it the other way. Leaving it as x. Oh, I have some Germex over there when you're done. Okay, we're going to square 2x minus 1, which is going to give us a trinomial. It's going to give us 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 plus 1.
Wait.
I bet you didn't have that 2 left because you said minus 1 right here.
So you get minus 4x.
Wow. Okay, no. When you are squaring a binomial, that's a FOIL problem. That's this. So you have first times first was 4x squared. Negative 2x and negative 2x give you negative 4x. Negative 1 times negative 1 is this plus 1.
Let's cancel them out.
And then we bring here. Okay? And then, so now if x is 4, that means it's 4 times 4 squared minus 4 times 4 plus 2. Well, 4 times 16 is 64 minus 16 plus 2, which gives you 50. Because negative 16 plus 2 is negative 14. You take 14 away from 64, you've got 50. Okay, yes, much easier if you plug the number in here in the very beginning, because then you can't mess up because you got your FOIL mixed up. All right, that was number 36. Any others on the homework that you would like me to go over? 32. 42. Sorry. G of h of negative 1/2. Okay, we are going to start with our g function, which is 2x minus 1. Okay, leaving parentheses where we see x. Into that, we're going to plug the next thing we see, which is h. And our h function is x squared plus 1. And then we're going to plug into those parentheses the next thing, which is negative 1/2. And then we simply need to evaluate. Okay, so starting in here with my little exponent. Negative 1/2 squared is positive what? What's 1 squared? 1, and 2 squared is 4. It's 1/4. Plus 1 minus 1. What's 1 plus 1/4? 1 and 1/4. Okay, but if you're going to multiply it by 2, you got to write it as an improper fraction, because the only way you can multiply fractions is if it's an improper fraction. And 5/4 is the proper way to multiply. All right, can we reduce 2 times 5/4?
Yeah.
2 and 4 can be reduced. So now you've got 5/2 minus 1. Now that you're in addition and subtraction, you can put it back into a mixed number. What's 5/2? So it's 2.5 minus 1. 1.5. When you're working with fractions, you've got to become so in tune or so familiar with the work of fractions that you understand. If I'm multiplying or dividing, it's easier if I make it an improper fraction. If I'm adding and subtracting, it's easier if one's a whole number. It's easier to make it a mixed number. If you're adding and subtracting and it's two fractions without a common denominator, it's easier if they're improper. Okay, because it's less that you have to work with. You don't have to worry about borrowing and canceling and doing all that other monkey shine. Anything else? Yes. Okay, number 45 was h of g of f of 2. Okay, so we start with our h function, which was x squared plus 1. So we have x squared plus 1, and my parentheses may not be long enough, so let me spread it out some more. Into that, I plug the next thing, which is my g function, and that's 2x minus 1. Into that set of parentheses, I plug in my f function, which is 4x, and then into there I put a 2. Much easier if we do it this way. So here I have 2 times 4 times 2, which is 16, minus 1 squared, plus 1. Order of operations says you got to do this first. So this is 15 squared plus 1. And what's 15 squared, Sean? Thomas? 225. We should know at least up to 15 squared. And 225 plus 1 gave us the 226. That's in the way? Was that in the way? No? Okay. Well, move it in. Anything else? Okay, pass up those homework assignments. Tomorrow we are going to start with the next section, but before we do, we need to make sure that you can take equations that contain more than one variable and manipulate them to get or isolate one variable, whichever one is required. So we're going to do some prerequisite skills. James, do you need to get that to me?
Oh, no, that's really old.
Okay. John Bostic, I have some stuff to return to you. Okay, if you turn to page 389, at the bottom of the page it says prerequisite skill. After that, he stopped bringing his whistles to games. Okay. If you see this equation, which says this is a prerequisite skill, we are solving multivariable equations
Like, we need a title.
for one variable.
Skill. Skills.
Okay, you need a title? I'll give you a title.
Skill, we got one.
Today is the
Secret of Mile.
5th, and we are doing this.
Title. Skill.
You said you need a title.